I've just come across this little video on the internet of old-fashioned manners and modes of behavior that parents used to teach their children, which I think is very good. I still think it's valuable to learn the old-fashioned manners. So here we go. Please take from it whatever goodness you find in it.
18 strange things taught to children by previous generations. 1. Send a thank you note. You had to write a handwritten note to show gratitude. It was expected when someone sent you a card or a gift. Not doing so was considered impolite. 2. Yes ma'am, yes sir. Saying ma'am or sir was a way to show respect. Children simply didn't answer an adult without it. This rule doubled when they got into trouble. 3. Take off your hat. It didn't matter if men wore a fedora or a baseball cap. They always took their hats off when they went inside. The same applied in situations that required respect. These included talking to the police or saying a prayer. Men would often tip their hats to women passing by. 4. Use a proper greeting. Good morning and good evening were appropriate. Hi was absolutely not. During the holidays, it was customary to give a seasonal greeting. 5. Use may I instead of can I. Phrasing things properly was crucial, even with your parents. Adults found it annoying to hear can I. 6. Ask permission to be excused. Leaving the table required permission. It didn't matter if kids disliked what was on their plates. This also applied to situations at school or with any adults. 7. Use silverware. Using silverware was expected at the table. Pushing food around with your hands was considered sloppy. Helping food onto your fork with a finger was a big no. 8. Please and thank you. Saying gimme that wasn't allowed. Children always had to say please and thank you. 9. Avoid pronouns. Children never called their parents he or she. That was especially the case if they were in the room. It was equivalent to an insult. 10. Never argue with an adult. Children were not to argue with adults, even if they had a point. Otherwise, they could get a spanking or a timeout for talking back. 11. Apologize rather than make excuses. To handle a faux pas, children had to say excuse me. It was the only polite response. 12. Don't interrupt adults. Children were taught to wait for adults to finish speaking. At dinner parties, they had to wait for a lull to say their piece. 13. Give up your seat. It was common to give up your seat on a bus or train. For older people, men were expected to do the same for ladies. 14. Keep your elbows off the table. Putting your elbows on the table was very rude. It was especially true at someone's home or a restaurant. 15. Sit up. Children may have wanted to slouch, but they tried not to in front of their teachers or parents. They also heard stand up straight a lot. 16. Don't whine. Children weren't allowed to complain or whine. They could get kicked out of the house or sent to bed early. 17. Never show off. Children weren't allowed to brag or show off. It was considered bad form, but they didn't seem to mind. Nobody wanted to be known as a bragger. 18. Remember the golden rule. This was an abiding principle in virtually all matters. The rule itself is precepted in the Gospel of Matthew. In everything, do to others what you would have them do to you. Do you remember these rules or follow them now?